Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't stop it on me, though.
I'm not ready. Challenge.
Well, you get this one, man.
Joe Rogan shocked by Gervonta Davis's bulked-up physique before Jake Paul fight. In the ever-intensifying build-up to the highly anticipated clash between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Jake Paul, one moment that has set the internet ablaze is Joe Rogan's reaction to Davis's latest training footage showing off his transformed, bulked-up physique.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
The UFC commentator and podcasting powerhouse, known for his keen eye on combat sports and physical performance, expressed sheer astonishment at Davis's newfound size and power.
Interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of, like, real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
But the real juice came when Joe compared Tank to a mini Mike Tyson with modern training science, saying he's built to detonate, not just box. He even threw a playful jab at Jake Paul, saying, if Jake thinks this version of Tank is coming in for a points win, he's out of his mind. That dude's coming to end it early. You could tell Rogan respects the grind. He loves seeing a fighter evolve, and this version of Gervonta Davis looks like evolution on steroids. Not literally, but in the way a fighter reinvents himself to prove a point. Joe summed it up perfectly. This isn't Tank Davis version 2. This is Tank Davis unleashed.
You know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan analyzed footage of the Baltimore-born knockout artist throwing blistering combinations and heavy body shots in training camp, pointing out how Davis appears noticeably thicker, more muscular, and sharper than ever before.
Serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, you know, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying, but we had hiccups.
Tank looks like a different animal right now, Rogan said, emphasizing that Davis has clearly been working on raw strength and explosive conditioning in preparation for a fight against the naturally bigger Jake Paul.
Guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when he's probably Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out.
The size difference has always been one of the biggest talking points leading into this matchup, with Paul having a natural advantage in height, reach, and walk-around weight, but Rogan's reaction suggests that Davis's team is fully aware of that and has made serious adjustments to neutralize those factors. Davis's recent transformation is not just cosmetic, it's strategic.
Hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, very, if Tank knocked him out cold.
Sources inside his camp claim that his strength and conditioning regimen under elite trainers has been laser-focused on building muscle mass without compromising his trademark speed and precision. Fans have noticed that Tank's frame looks denser, his shoulders and traps have broadened, and his punches seem to carry even more thudding force. Rogan, breaking down the video, remarked that Davis looks like he's packing dynamite in those gloves, predicting that if he manages to close the distance on Jake Paul, it could be an early night.
It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, you know what I'm saying, get their coaches and sparring partners, they go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, you know what I'm saying, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next.
The surprise from Rogan also stemmed from the sheer contrast between Davis's previous fights, where he maintained a lean, compact build suitable for the lightweight and super featherweight divisions, and his current form, which looks closer to a welterweight's body. He's usually the smaller guy in his fights, Rogan explained, but now, looking at him, he's carrying size like he's built for middleweight wars.
It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, you know what I'm saying, get their coaches and sparring partners, they go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, you know what I'm saying, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next.
It's wild. Rogan's comments have since gone viral across social media, with clips circulating showing his genuine disbelief and excitement. Fans are echoing his sentiments, with many calling Davis's transformation one of the most dramatic in recent boxing memory.
Next fight versus Gervonta after this fight?
Who knows? He said he's retiring. I believe him. Honestly, I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire.
You think he'll retire after the exhibition match?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because he gets scared.
Some fans even joke that Tank looks like he's been training with Mike Tyson, referencing Davis's rumored sparring sessions with the heavyweight legend earlier in camp, a rumor that Rogan didn't dismiss.
On the Gervonta fight, the ounces on the gloves, 12 ounce, and then, Calvin was asking to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. I really don't care. I don't care about it.
He speculated that training with Tyson could have influenced Davis's current approach, as Tyson was known for combining explosive power with compact muscle mass and ferocity, much like what Davis now embodies. The transformation also signifies Davis's mental shift going into this fight. Facing Jake Paul, who has steadily improved his boxing fundamentals and brings significant knockout power, Davis seems to be preparing for a physical war rather than relying solely on finesse.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, oh, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time in.
Rogan pointed out that Tank's core and leg strength look vastly improved, allowing him to plant his feet and throw with devastating leverage. He's built for destruction right now, Rogan said, adding that Davis's team likely understands the importance of psychological warfare as well. When Jake sees that version of Tank across the ring, bigger, meaner, stronger, it sends a message before the first punch is even thrown.
Jake, you never responded to the challenge. You publicly stated that I use cocaine. I do not. So I told you, you could randomly cocaine test me for the next 10 years. I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years. And that thing that you came out with today, nobody on earth thinks that you really wrote that. You're too stupid. And for those of you that don't know, if you've ever watched one of his fights and you see when they do the stare down, the guy that's standing in the middle with the warlock nose and the big warlock wart on his face, apparently that's his manager. And that guy used to be an accountant for me. And let's just say this, he no longer works for me, and I think he's a scumbag. But if you two think that you can do it better than we do, we're doing this whole thing wrong. You could treat the fighters better than we do. Knock yourself out. Go start your own business. It's easy to do. Get the Warlock on it. The Warlock can get it started for you. What you and the Warlock should be focused on is your business. You're tanking. You can't sell pay-per-views. You're calling out Jorge Masvidal because he's a pay-per-view superstar. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson. These are all superstars. You're not. You can't sell pay-per-views. So you do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm ready to roll, buddy. I don't use cocaine. Do you use steroids? Let's do this, Jake.
Beyond the aesthetics, experts in Rogan's circle agreed that Davis's improved physique might enhance his ability to absorb shots from a heavier opponent like Jake Paul. Historically, Tank has been praised for his chin, ring IQ, and timing, but moving up in weight against a power puncher was always a risk.
Jake Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. We're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. I understand people saying, Gervonta got to go get his money, blah, blah, blah. But, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit.
Right.
That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, LeBron's making too much. Nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Rogan highlighted that this new build gives Davis a better chance to withstand the physicality that comes with fighting at a higher weight. At the same time, Rogan cautioned against overbulking, noting that some fighters lose agility or gas Tank when they add too much muscle too quickly. The key for Tank is to maintain his explosiveness, he warned, because that's his deadliest weapon.
Listen, man, he making 40 mil is what I hear. Get your money. Because listen, this sport is brutal, dog. We got hustle and bustle. And to put yourself in a position where you can make that kind of money, you can't be mad at Tank. Make your money, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, who gonna feed your kids? Who gonna take care of your family? Who gonna take care of you? So I ain't mad at Tank. Get your money, and at the end of the day, Jake Paul is in a league of his own. And hate on him or not, whatever, at the end of the day, he's bringing attention, and there's actual growth. There's good fights on the card. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at it, man. Jake Paul's on a lane of his own.
If he can carry that speed with this power, then we're looking at something scary. Training footage has shown Davis maintaining blistering hand speed despite the added mass, firing off rapid 5-punch combinations with precision and force that left even Rogan speechless. Comparing him to historical fighters, Rogan drew parallels to prime Roberto Duran and even Manny Pacquiao, small-framed fighters who carried their power across multiple weight classes with devastating results.
I think he's taking steroids. Yeah. I do 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and
and dude, I'm not even sitting here being like, fuck him for that at all. This doesn't make that clear.
Okay. I mean, but in combat sports,
what do you think? Do you think he is or he isn't?
I think he has for sure, but I don't know if he is currently.
Why would he not? Why would he not? If you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's looking in the mirror. He's in his bathroom. And he's like, Dylan, I'm gonna kill this. And he's like injecting his because he's like, I gotta protect Nina.
Yeah, facts,
you know?
facts. And he did. Fair play to him. He did. Listen.
And he's like,
for all the criticisms,
he's looking a little more angular in the face.
The thing I've always thought is like, how do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger? I don't know that I'm not.
How do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger?
Like it's usually a process of getting bigger, leaning. He's leaning
now
out
you're onto
as
it.
he's
Now you're to see. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what makes guys like Tank special, Rogan said. They defy physics. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's camp has been taking note of the hype around Davis's transformation. Paul himself, known for his mind games and bravado, recently commented in an interview that he's not fazed by Tank's new look, claiming that muscles don't win fights. Rogan addressed that statement on his podcast, laughing as he said, "He's right, muscles don't win fights, but when you've got muscles, skills, and knockout instincts like Tank, that's a dangerous combination."
Tell people what your workout is like and tell people how much you work on boxing and being in shape.
We're waking up, at the track, running 800 meter, 400 meter, 200, 200, 800, 400, 200, 200, 200, sparring, sprinting, all types of workouts, push-ups, pull-ups, sledgehammer, tire flips, jogging 5 miles after that, abs, getting punched in the stomach nonstop, and then doing it all over again the next day. Ice baths, recovery, yoga, meditation, visualization, manifestation of winning the fight. And I think people get confused by me promoting the fight. They think I'm just like messing around by making these skits and having fun. And they think I'm, not going to come in and take this guy's head off.
The upcoming showdown, which has already been billed as one of the most polarizing events in modern boxing, seems to be getting an even greater boost from this narrative of transformation and intimidation. Davis's Instagram posts flaunting his physique have gone viral, with millions of views and fans hyping up his new nickname, Super Tank.
Went took a circus show fight, and he said he was going to retire. I believe him.
Why do you say he's a circus show fight?
It's just for giggles. Jake Paul's 200 pounds, and he's whatever he is. So.
Spoke to Roberto Diaz over in Florida, and I know he's part of your team. He was a little bit upset when all that news came out. He called it a duck. Would you call it a duck?
For sure. You can call it a spade, for sure. If we're contracted to fight and you go and take another fight, you breach that contract, you go take another fight, that's a clear duck. Obviously. So.
Rogan concluded his analysis by predicting that this fight could surprise the world. People think Jake has the size advantage, but I think Tank is planning to flip that script. He looks like he's training to hunt, not just box, Rogan said. The conversation has sparked debates among combat sports fans and analysts alike, with many agreeing that Davis's new build could lead to the most explosive version of him yet.
I don't think Tank cares about what it does for the sport. I think, and I get it, I was very open and honest with my last fight and the things around it. Tried not to be before because I didn't want anyone to, not be excited for what was a good fight on paper, definitely. But when you kind of lose that love for the craft and the discipline, and getting in the ring don't mean as much as it did when you was growing up and on the way up. I've kind of seen that in Tank. Now, he had a hard fight against Lamont Roach Jr. and that might have been a part of it. Like, wow, man, this is getting hard against fighters that I think I'm levels above, and turned out on the night that I wasn't. And not only that, with prize fighters, I hope, for the little people of the world, I hope Jake Paul gets absolutely starched by someone nearly half his size.
As the fight date approaches, anticipation is at an all-time high, and every new clip of Davis training only adds fuel to the fire. Joe Rogan's shocked reaction has effectively amplified the hype, making fans question whether Jake Paul truly understands the storm he's about to walk into. If Davis can combine his newfound physical strength with his established technical brilliance, he may not just beat Jake Paul, he could end the YouTuber-turned-boxer's dream run in devastating fashion. One thing is certain, when Joe Rogan, a man who's seen every kind of fighter from the UFC to world-class boxing, says he's shocked, the world listens, and right now, all eyes are on Gervonta, Tank Davis and his terrifyingly bulked up form as he prepares to step into the ring for one of the most talked about fights of this generation.